A question that every investor loves to ask me is, why haven't your competitors done this? Now, there's so many ways I could answer this question. I'm going to start here. First of all, it has been my lifelong obsession to solve this problem. People sitting in the offices of Whoop and Oura Ring and Garmin have not had an accumulation of life experiences that have made them obsessed with evangelizing this one message, right? I didn't start with the foundation of, I want to be a tech entrepreneur. I started with the foundation of, I want to create a world where more people have the emotional capacity to actually be present with the spectrum of the human experience. And that was through very deep personal experiences that I went through. I shared some of that in a previous video. That made me recognize that until we have a certain level of emotional awareness and emotional capacity, we actually miss out on so much of our life that drove this obsession to want to solve that problem. And iteration after iteration in my entrepreneurial journey, I had this criteria that was driving me. I wanted to create a solution that was hyper-personalized, that could create genuine intrinsic change, but could do that at infinite scale. And I really only came down to two pathways where that was possible. The first was technology and the second was music. And actually, I think that In Truth has some incredible use cases in music. Maybe we can talk about that in another video. But I asked myself, the question, what if we could actually measure this thing that is so elusive and yet so defining of the human experience, which is emotion? How could that actually shift a paradigm? How could that actually allow us to better manage and direct emotional energy, which is emotion literally comes from the Latin word motion. It means energy in motion. So if we have a way of organizing and making our emotions coherent as an individual and then as a species, really this is the underlying catalyst for all major paradigm shifting changes in our world. And I could start to see through my life's work that this was actually possible. And so when I get asked, why aren't your competitors doing this? I'm like, it's so often underestimated the power of having the evangelist that has had a lifelong obsession with solving a particular problem and then putting them in a seat that actually gives them the resources to be able to innovate and drive that mission forward. Because what we're really doing it in truth is we're doing impossible things, so without that passion and without that insight, you just don't have the will to be able to solve every single one of those problems as they arise.